everybody, it's Steve Cook with Premier Guitar and PremierGuitar.com. If you have looked at any of our review demos in the last 3 years, you're probably thinking, wow, I see nothing different. Hair's the same. You've seen this bass before. But no, something is different. Look at this. This is not the usual tone hammer that we've been using. This is the big brother. This is the Aguilar 700. 700 watts of continuous power at 4 ohms or 2.67 ohms. Which I don't know how they keep splitting these atoms, but math. Anyhow, so it is 700 watts of continuous, thunderous, earth-shaking power. They've taken basically their very popular tone hammer pedal, and they've added a little EQ, a lot of power, and they have this little drive thing going on down here. But we will learn about all that shortly. So let us dive right in, but not before talking about our signal chain, which is Sandberg, California, which is an active and passive bass, into the Aguilar 700 tone hammer. We're using the XLR DI on this into an Apogee Quartet into Pro Tools. So here we are. Front panel is very simple on this. From left to right or right to left, depending on which country or hemisphere you are in. This would be the 1/4 inch. This is your 10 dB pad. Here is your gain control. Now I had this all the way up for the drive section to be thunderous and noisy and nasty at the top. So I'm going to pull that back because we're going to need that a little bit more tame in a second. This is the drive down here, and again, I'm going to pull that back as well. This is our EQ section. This is the mid-frequency. I'm sorry, this is the mid-level. This is the mid-frequency, so you can adjust your mids, which is very helpful, of course, when you are in a bad situation, you can't hear your bass. No, we don't turn up the bass. We don't turn up the treble. We turn up the mids, so we can cut through the mix. So that's a little producing tip for you. Anyhow, so we have the bass control, and then we have the treble control here. This is our effects loop, 1/4 inch inputs, of course. This is our master level. And we are pre and post DI here, which of course, if you're running pre, then that means you're just gonna get bass, just bass into this. If you're running post, that means you get some of your effects, you get your EQ system, you get your gain, and you get your drive control. And then we have the ground lift. We also have the mute and unmuted. On the back, very simple as well. It's a power switch. It's a couple of speak-ons. It's rock and roll. All right, let's get to some tones. So we are back to normal. Normal, what is normal? But we are without drive, and we are just going to run a flat amp right here, just so you can hear how the Aguilar does. It doesn't really color the sound very much. It's a great representation of your bass, which is the sign of a great amp. All right, well, let's get some mid-frequency stuff happening here. So I'm going to boost this a little bit, and then I'm going to sweep it. So you can hear how it's starting to cut through a little bit. The first was really subdued and kind of wet blanket-like. Now we're into that high mid range. Add a little bit of bass and treble, and I'm going to sweep out some of that EQ in the middle. That nice smiley face. Pretty nice. So pull that back. Let's pull that up while we're here. Let's just pull both up. Pretty cool. Now let's jump into this drive system. So you're going to hear a little bit of change And what I'm going to do is dial up a little bit of mid-frequency to help it out, because that way you can hear it. But it's not going to get crazy until you start boosting that gain up. So you hear how it's getting a little bit of breakup on the top end. Of course, I'll drop to low D so we can hear the building. Now drive is all the way dimed. Let's add some high end to that. A little nasty. Did I mention it's 700 watts? Because I barely have this thing on and it is shaking the walls. So just FYI at home. And I'll go back to punching that gain all the way to the top. Back to clean. So a lot of EQ control, which is great. Some nasty drive on there too, which is fun. And a thunderous 700 watts. And this thing weighs next to nothing, 4 pounds. So, which is pretty nice. So check it out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. There's a written review online, premierguitar.com. And then there are sound samples there. And then you can watch this again, you know, when we go through this thing. No, don't do any of that. Watch it once, go to your music store, check it out for yourself, because your ears, not mine, are the true test. So, thanks for coming in today. My name is Steve Cook from Premier Guitar at premierguitar.com, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks so much.